What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Mxbikes video. I know it has been a pretty long time since you guys probably seen another video from me. Finally on to OBS instead of Streamlabs, kind of changed some things up. I don't know how well the computer's going to hold up streaming races and stuff. However, I got it to record a video for you guys, so here we are, and it's a big one. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. So first things first, while you're here, Mxbikes has released their Beta 21 update. Seems to be a yearly thing now that they're doing is Pacejka basically every single year is basically doing a once a year update release, which is honestly pretty good news. I think all around this whole update is pretty solid, and now the OEM team can do their things, and we're finally going to get new bikes. So I'm pretty excited. I love game changes and stuff like that, and this is probably the biggest one. I know I probably haven't done a video since like Beta 19 and the new OEMs, and that was really the last one that mattered, since everything else was kind of reversed that he did. So we'll get out of third person here, jump right into it. I don't know how you guys ride in third person, but anyhow, so Beta 21, we have quite a list to go. So they made some changes here. As you can see, I'm sitting and standing, trying to feel it out. We'll start on some little bit of physics stuff. Apparently they capped the maximum force and strength of the leg simulation. That's directly from their patch notes. We don't really know what that means. Honestly, I feel like I can sit more. I've only played probably 2 hours since the update. It seems like I can sit in the turns without things getting super weird with the physics. Like there's not as much of a drastic difference potentially in sitting and standing in the turns now. I think standing's probably still going to be the meta, but I do feel a slight difference there. So that's a big one. I think it's going to more involve when the new OEMs come out. Maybe we'll feel it even a little bit more. But hopefully a positive change there. Not really sure. He kind of leaves it pretty gray area in these patch notes. The online racing and server section. So server hardening and upgrades to implement network security. So obviously a positive change, more secure servers, though if you guys have logged into Mxbikes in the last couple of days, the servers don't even work, typical Pacejka fashion. So I'm sure it'll be fixed pretty soon, hopefully. And they also added some reduced chaotic and unpredictable riding bike collisions. So now in the online servers, when they are back up, because as you know, Mxbikes is broken right now, when the servers are actually back up, not only are they going to be more secure, but apparently the racing is going to get a whole lot better. So really excited about that, to be honest with you. Now we could probably get close to people and not go flying across the entire track. So they also have not only capped the leg simulation, which again, we're not really sure what that actually means. They also added terrain deformation limitations, so especially on hard landings. So as you can tell, now the G-outs and all these weird things in the aerial races and pretty much all the races across the board, when you got like 40 people on a gate and you're running two 30-minute motos, the track and the E-road and the way this game works makes it super whack. Like the E-road sometimes feels insane for no reason, like the random kicks out, the complete chassis framing on the landings of jumps. So really glad to see that has been capped for sure. What else do we have here? And so now we're going to get into a pretty big one here. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the physics changes, especially on the low speed, are still very much present, which is why I left these crashes in this clip for you. Still very twitchy, still very sometimes unpredictable. And for whatever reason, I'm really feeling the front of the bike now washing out way more than it did. I am trying a new model swap in this video, and I'm also trying a bunch of new setups, so it could be that related. Plus, I'm also a little rusty, but I cannot get this front end to stop washing out. I really don't know what the deal is with that. So now the elephant in the room that is probably going to be the biggest part of this entire update, and that's going to be the overjump crash has been added, and it can be disabled on dedicated servers. However, I honestly don't think it's gonna go anywhere as far as racing. I'm sure they're going to run it, but I did see something that they're gonna be on a 3-race trial period to see if it's a setting that they're going to keep or not. So right here, you overjump now. Not only are you not getting the Poboso bounce, which, don't get me wrong, as you can tell, still real weird, twitchy, standing, coming out of a turn. You wheelie, all that pogo sticky physics are still very much at play. But now we have this new added gem where if you have a hard enough impact, it's going to just crash you now. There's not really much forgiveness of getting away. Now, Pala, where we're at right now, which is where round 1 of the Motocross will be held this Friday, if the servers are back up. This is last year's version, of course. But I'm going to try, this is a lot harder of a track to get it to actually crash you line-wise, like if you were try to overjump something. So I'm going to try right here. But yeah, if you know, a lot of these guys now are going to be a little limited. As you can tell, big line, you come up short. Now you're going to be punished. Now, me personally, I don't feel like this is the end of the world. I know a lot of people are pretty pissed off about it. Listen, this game is arcadey enough. Any kind of realism that's added, honestly, I'm kind of a fan of. So now, you know, you try to take these big lines and jump to the outside and this and that. It's a no-no. So good luck. So I don't mind that at all. Honestly, I think it's going to slow the pace down and tame some of the craziness in this game. And it seems like if you land back wheel first, which is very realistic, if you are going to come up short or anything of the sort, it limits obviously the force of the rider coming down and won't let you crash. So I think it's a lot more forgiving than you think, as you can tell. See, if I just change what I'm doing, I don't really have much of a problem. Another things we're going to get into, tires and modding. So the Pacejka perimeters in the tire files, which are backwards compatible, they added basically a series data for tires, allowing different championships and series to utilize distinct tire physics configurations. Now again, this is also going to be something that, like I said, is going to be probably for the new OEM team when the new OEMs actually come out. It's definitely more of an OEM team related thing. So now in the new OEMs, this is probably going to change the game forever. Should have some tire options, so definitely cool to see a little bit of variety thrown in there and maybe something different for everybody in the type of racing you're running. Maybe Ariel will run a certain tire versus the AMs and stuff like that. I'm curious to see on what that all entails. I think there'll probably be like an enduro, a super motocross, a supercross, a motocross kind of tire sets, and be cool to see if the actual OEM team makes different actual tires that physically look different as well. That'd be pretty cool to see. And then there's a bunch of stuff that probably none of you are really going to care about, like UI commands, updated straight rhythm user interface, which now includes terrain deformation, and a new track reset button that's going to be added. I don't know if that's just for straight rhythm or that maybe, maybe there's going to be a quick on-demand, on-the-fly track reset button that can be binded on your controller. Probably not. I'm assuming this is probably just for straight rhythm. They have a command line option and output dedicated servers directly to the console, and then options for dedicated servers. So I guess they just actually are trying to get straight rhythm in the game to actually work, since it never really did online anyway. But other than that, guys, that pretty much sums up all of the updates in the game, and honestly, they're big ones. I don't think it's going to be as drastic of a change as you think, other than, like I said, that we don't know what's going on. The biggest ones in my eyes are the leg strength ones that have been, capped the maximum force of leg strength simulation, which honestly I'm pretty sure is going to go hand in hand with what you're seeing is the new toggleable physics simulation, that on hard landings and everything, basically saying that your legs can only take so much force. So yeah, unfortunately, the only drawbacks for me is I wish that some of the Poboso physics got fixed, like the twitchiness and stuff like that. Maybe now instead of Poboso bouncing, we're just going to wreck since the leg force was capped. So kind of happy to see that in a sense. Kind of brings it, I'm more of an MX simulator guy, so I came from sim, so this is kind of nothing new for me. And I think a lot of the things that you guys unfortunately have been getting away with is going to come to an end. And along with, like I said, these OEM tire changes and stuff like that, this game I really feel like is going to be completely different. But as you saw, I just came up short on that knuckle, and it's not like every little hard impact you're going to go down from. So I think some people are, overplaying it a little bit. I'm sure some tracks might be a little bit more difficult with that setting being toggled on. But in the long run, I feel like this is probably, honestly, a pretty positive update for the game. And we've been needing one for a very long time. So, like I said, I wish the physics were just tweaked a little bit. And I'm getting a lot of front-end wash. I still got to figure that out. But other than that, I think this is a positive change to the game. This is the change we've been waiting over a year for. And now the OEM team can do their thing. And we have new OEMs on the way, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Me personally, like I said, I think it's a positive. But yeah, racing's about to get interesting. So don't forget, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment what you think, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.